Hello, friends. Today we're going to talk about success and how it is subjective. Welcome back to the podcast. We should talk. Hi, friends. This is Bethany Jennings, and you're listening to We Should Talk. It's a podcast where we talk about anything and everything to encourage, equip, and empower you to be a decent human. Let's talk. All right, as promised, we are going to talk about success. Currently, I am sitting on my couch. Everyone else in my house is asleep, and I'm recording a podcast. I do not have coffee yet, but I will soon at some point in my life. In Jesus' name, we speak in faith. I've been thinking about this for a minute now. We're going to talk about success and some thoughts I've had about that recently, but some life updates. Welcome back to the podcast. We took a break for summer. Summers are always a very busy time for my family. I mean, every month is a busy time for my family, but summers get pretty crazy. And I like to use that time specifically to focus on my boys and making sure they're okay. And while I love talking to you guys, I think having a summer break and even a Christmas break helps us to kind of readjust, and you can go back and listen to more episodes and that kind of stuff. So let me give you some life updates. Big exciting news. My dad actually has a podcast now, which is crazy. I'm so excited he finally did it. David helped him get it all set up, and it's very official. It's very whatever. It is not like this podcast. He has like a microphone and all the things, and he has the editing software, and because David set it up. I, however, set this up, and I needed the most accessibility and ease of use possible because of, the way my life is right now and the fact that I record literally anywhere. So, anyways, his podcast is called Ministry Matters, and it's really cool. It's like 10-ish minutes each episode, and it's just like little snippets of wisdom and things that really you can apply to everyday life of ministry, and checking your heart, checking your motives, that kind of stuff. Ministry Matters by Douglas White. Y'all need to check it out. Quick listens. Another thing, Silas is 2 now. He's talking like crazy. Onyx is 3, going on 13. He's lots of fun. He's learning things every day. What else? Oh, we had Youth Congress this year. Youth Congress was crazy pants. I'm sure some of you were there, but I didn't really get to see a whole lot of... I saw a lot of people, but as far as like interacting with people in a meaningful way, it's kind of hard to do that at Youth Congress with that many people and trying to get through the crowds and everything. But it was a successful week. The Lord really did some stuff that was wild. And you know what? I think maybe, I don't know if it'll be next week, but maybe at some point, I'm going to talk about something Youth Congress has brought up for me, something that I was told some years back, and how Youth Congress just kind of reaffirmed that for me, and people's reactions to Youth Congress reaffirmed it for me. So maybe that'll be a different episode. And believe it or not, I did record some podcasts. I recorded some episodes. So you will hear some of those now, right? So it'll be months after the fact, but hopefully, in Jesus' name, it's all timely. It helps somebody. It helps somebody be a better human. I also wrote a book, and it was published by Truth Book Kids Co. It's called Feel All My Feelings, about how to navigate emotions and what to do with them. And it is a kid's book, but I do think it could help some adults. What else? Oh, we went to Spain, and I almost died. I can tell you guys about that at a later date. I don't know of anything else. I teach at our Life Academy now. Our school has an academy, and I teach at that. That's fun. David is a guest instructor at times, but yeah, I teach there every other week because of our travel schedule, and it's a really fun endeavor. It's really cool seeing the culture of our kids shift, even in the few weeks that we've been doing it. It's really amazing. Anyways, moving on. Success. This is going to be brief, I think. I'm not sure. Success is subjective. I want to emphasize that, because a lot of people are using the term, they're a very successful musician. Okay. They're a very successful minister. She is a very successful author. He is a successful... What does that mean, successful? And I feel like if you assign a specific mode of success to it, it helps. Sometimes it's very broad. It's like, oh yeah, they're very successful. What do you mean they're successful? Successful at what? I think that's where we really need to delve into it, because especially as it comes to ministry, what does it mean to be successful in ministry? Like, what does that mean? Because ministry by definition is service to others. So long as you're serving others, you are a successful minister. I think sometimes we assign success as they're preaching a lot of places. They're singing at a lot of conferences. They're ministering in a lot of different settings. They're invited to multiple organizations and fellowships. I think that's what we assign as success. But technically, success depends on your goal. When you look at the actual definition of success, there's two alternative definitions. So Merriam-Webster is, sometimes they're very direct, but then that gets really vague. So it's like a degree or measure of succeeding. And then it says to attain wealth, favor, or eminence. Yes, that's success if that's your goal. That's why I like the Cambridge Dictionary better. In this particular case, I'm not preferring or supporting one over the other, but in this particular case, I do prefer the Cambridge Dictionary because it doesn't list out attainment of wealth or favor or eminence. It is to achieve the results wanted or hoped for, something that achieves positive results. In order to be assigned quote-unquote success, we have to be clear on what the goal is, on what the desired outcome or hope is. So for some people, they desire or hope to be a kingdom provider. And so they go the routes they need to go in order to attain wealth or, a high income to do that. And that's success for them. For some people, their goal is to raise decent humans. And when they have raised those decent humans, then we say, oh, she's a very successful mother. Maybe your goal is to teach Bible studies. You're teaching 3 and 4 Bible studies a week. Wow. They are a very successful Bible study teacher. You're teaching the Bible studies. But if just teaching them is the goal, then you're successful. But if your goal is to actually convert people, then your measure of success is going to be different. Because sometimes you teach Bible studies and people are not converted immediately. You teach Bible studies and some people are never converted. You're not ready to accept the truths of the Bible. Then if your goal is to be a convert and things aren't happening, maybe you're not experiencing success right now. It's subjective. Again, particularly in the area of ministry. Oh, he's a very successful evangelist. Okay, well, what is evangelism? What does that mean? Currently, I think a lot of people assume that evangelism is someone who travels from church to church, place to place, preaching at various churches and pulpits and fellowships and organizations. I think that's our modern concept of evangelism, which actually isn't what the Bible calls evangelism or what the Bible considers evangelism. Evangelism is spreading of the gospel. And so long as you are spreading the gospel wherever you are, then you're a successful evangelist. And we get so caught up in comparison about, well, so-and-so is preaching here and this one is leading worship there. And okay, fine. I'm happy for them. But what are you doing where you're at? What is your goal? What is your desired outcome? Because I think we feel like failures because we don't know our desired outcome. We feel like failures because we've not established a very clear, precise, and distinct goal. There are certain places I have spoken and I have ministered at or I have led worship at, and I don't call myself anything. Bobby Wendell taught me that a long time ago. She says, you don't have to call yourself anything. I was talking to her, it's like, I know I have a call in my life. I don't know what all that entails, and I don't know what to tell people I am. She says, you don't have to tell people anything. She says, you don't have to call yourself anything. They'll call you what they want to call you. Just be a handmaiden of the Lord. And so that's what I am. And that's how I measure my quote-unquote success. Am I maintaining my status as a handmaiden of the Lord? This week, that looks like speaking at an event. Next week, that looks like leading worship at an event. Last week, it looked like coordinating our evangelism quadrant of our church. This past Sunday, it looked like having a policies and procedures meeting with our host and security staff. Whatever I'm doing, is it fulfilling the ultimate goal of being a handmaiden of the Lord? If it's yes, then I am a success. I am not a failure because I don't travel with David all the time. I am not a failure because my kids aren't, authoring books at 2 and 3. There's some parents who were like, you say, oh, my baby took their first steps. And they're like, yeah, well, mine is doing flips and flying. Like, well, that's great. Happy for you. In every aspect of life, there's going to be one-uppers. And God love them. I don't even know if they mean to sometimes. But it's just displaying how insecure and how approval addicted they are. Because you can't just celebrate someone else's success or achievement without trying to one-up them. And that's unfortunate. It's not a good look for anyone. I just want you to consider what you're trying to succeed at. I feel like as Christians, generally speaking, our ultimate overarching goal should be getting to heaven. And so if what you are currently doing is not going to achieve that goal, then yes, you are failing. If what you are doing is attempting to achieve that goal, then yes, you are on your way to success. My fellow worship leaders, if your goal is to entertain the presence of the Lord and assist the congregation in getting to the throne room, and that's what you're doing, good job. But if you're not singing at every event coming and going, and in every set of initials associated with an organization or fellowship, that doesn't mean you're a failure. Unless, of course, that is your goal. In which case, we need to realign our goals with God's purpose for our lives. Because none of us are called to only sing at big events. None of us are called to only minister in certain settings. We are called to be the light of the world. We are called to be the salt of the earth. We are called to carry out the Great Commission. We're called to do these things. If you're a Christian, you're called to do those things. Period. Many are called, right? Many are called. Some are chosen for very specific tasks, but many are called. And we have to fulfill that calling if we're going to be true Christians and followers of Christ to be successful. So I encourage you, assess your goals. Assess your definition of success and see if you are actually achieving that or if you are trying to achieve someone else's goals. David and I have never said our goal is to sing at Congress, Youth Congress. Our goal is to sing at General Conference. Our goal is to preach in Brother So-and-so's pulpit. Our goal is to minister at this massive church. That's never been our goal. Our goal is to fulfill the calling that the Lord has placed on our lives and to ultimately hear, well done, and to be a good and faithful servant. Those are the goals. Those are the goals. So if you're feeling like a failure, assess your goals. Maybe you should be failing at some goals. Because your goal should not be to be a big name apostolic artist or a big name Christian author or a big name. Because if you are trying to make your name big, that means you may be diminishing the name that really matters. Assess your goals because maybe you're not a failure. Maybe you're just not aligning your goals with what God has for you. Something to think about. All right, friends, I'm going to go. And I hope this episode has made you a better human. And I hope it helps you to reassess some things in your life. All right. Love you. Bye. Well, that was fun. I'm glad you stuck around for the whole thing. And thank you for talking to me today. Y'all go like and follow and review and do all the podcast things that people do. And don't forget to be a good human.